Hey, love bugs. How are you? Thanks for tuning into Love Grind. I love that you're here tuning in with me. Oh, it's so exciting. It's been a really busy week, but we're here together again. I just want to let you know that I am not a licensed therapist, love bug, so just giving you some tips and advice. And if you know anybody or yourself needs to reach out for professional help, please feel free to do so. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Tonight, we're going to talk about something really cool. It's about escaping insecurity with your love addiction and overcoming jealousy in relationships. Jealousy is a big thing for me. I'm such a jealous person, and I've learned that it just comes from insecurities of my own, and I project that out, and it comes out as jealousy, which I'm sure a lot of us do. So we're going to touch a little bit about that tonight, how to overcome that and how to see the signs, and when you're hating and you're a little bit too jealous and overbearing on your partner. Okay? Also, I just want to remind you to get on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and look at our page and get some wonderful quizzes and content that I've put up there. You'll enjoy that. All right, love bugs, so let's get right into it. I'm going to give you some healthy ways to deal with your jealousy. It's such a big thing, so let's get started. Jealousy isn't necessarily an unhealthy emotion, love bugs, but there are more ways to handle your jealousy more constructively. If you tend to get jealous in romantic relationships, you're not alone. Jealousy is a very natural emotion that many people experience at some point. Jealous tendencies can pop up in other situations too, like, for example, in a 2019 study found that women are more prone than men to get jealous over their employer's physical attractiveness. Good to know. Men, on the other hand, are more prone to feel jealous over their employer's physical dominance. Both men and women experience jealousy when their employers appear more socially successful. Research suggests that jealousy is not inherently a bad thing. A 2021 study found, for instance, that friendship jealousy, when a person is threatened by their friend's new romantic relationship or friend, can help to protect and maintain friendships. So just a little bit of jealousy, like, oh, you didn't call me? Or you're supposed to be my friend. That can maybe help maintain it, but don't overdo it, love bugs. Wherever your jealousy stems from or whom you feel it toward, healing is possible. How do you control jealousy? Whether you have jealous tendencies in romantic relationships, friendships, or other situations, here are some tips on how you can handle your jealousy in a healthy way. Wish I knew some of these a couple years ago. Number 1, identify your insecurities. Be real with ourselves about what our insecurities are, where they come from, what we do to keep them alive, and what we could potentially start doing to transform them into secure bases of existence. To do this, you can journal, love the journaling, meditate, or speak with a therapist. A mental health professional can help you identify the root of your jealousy and how to overcome it. If you know better, you do better. Number 2, communicate openly with your partner, because your partner can't read minds. Consider speaking with your partner about your experience. Opening up about your feelings of jealousy can give them the opportunity to understand where you're coming from and adjust their behaviors to help you feel more secure within your relationship. That's always an awesome thing if your partner takes in what you're saying and really tries to help you get through it and past it. Number 3, talk about it with other people. To realize that you're not alone and other people feel jealous just like you do, it helps you to cope with it. This offsets the shame associated with feeling like there's something wrong with us for feeling this way. Number 4, let go of judgment. Jealousy has a bad reputation, but it's not always a negative feeling. So you have to try to stop judging jealousy as a bad or wrong way to feel, because it's neither. Jealousy sends us a message about the unhealed parts of ourselves. The defensive behaviors we exhibit to protect us from feeling jealous are usually what feel bad or wrong, but the feeling itself is actually a useful tool for us to get to know ourselves better. Allow ourselves and yourselves the space to be a human, which often means feeling things we don't want to feel and having thoughts we don't want to have. While it's a universal experience, the context and nuisance is unique for each of us. Get to know your jealousy roots and stories. Try to do it with compassion and curiosity instead of judgment. So give yourself some grace, love bugs, okay? When you learn that you're a jealous person, learning where that comes from will help you learn yourself, because it comes from deep within, on your self-worth. So that's always a great thing, is to learn yourself and to kind of try to fix the problem, okay? Number 5, try self-therapy exercises, especially if your jealousy comes from toxic past relationships or traumatic situations. Coping exercises might help you to manage the negative feelings associated with jealousy. You might find some of these practices helpful. Here they go, love bugs. Emotional freedom techniques, short for EFT, or tapping, which means kind of talking yourself down and letting yourself know that it's okay. Repeating positive affirmations. I am worthy. I am worthy. Grounding exercises and true building exercises. All right, that's a good way to start. You can always Google these up and get in more context what these are and what practices you can use that are particular with these. Okay, you guys? A therapist also who specializes in relationship issues can offer more personalized tools for use as well. Number 6, learn more about jealousy. Jealousy almost always has a deeply rooted emotion behind it. It can be a manifestation of fear that we're not enough, we're not attractive enough or interesting enough, that we won't be chosen, that other people or things are more important to someone than we are. Here's some potential sources of jealousy, love bugs. A partner's ongoing relationships with their exes, that's a big trigger, okay? Not trusting that your partner is committed to your relationship. Or she's always saying, well, I'll leave, or you can go. That's a big one. That can make you feel jealous or insecure. Wishing you had what someone else had, like rare friendships, relationships. A learned emotional pattern from observing or being raised in an environment heavy with jealousy. So if your sister was jealous of you all the time, or your mom, or anything like that, that can also root in your adulthood as you becoming a jealous and overbearing person. You're afraid of abandonment. And with the love addict, that's like one of the biggest triggers and the biggest fears is being abandoned and left behind. While jealousy is often something internal that we need to work on, that's not always the case. Sometimes people want us to be jealous of them or something they have or do because it gives them a false sense of elevation about their own lives. This is something others may or may not be conscious of. Either way, love bugs, learning about yourself can help you better understand where your feelings of jealousy come from and how, based on your personal need, you can cope with them. To start, you can consider these resources. These you can find on Amazon, or you can also find in the local library. One's called Signs of Jealousy. It's a great read. And one is called How Insecurity Leads to Envy, Jealousy, and Shame. Because it's like a lake. It does lead into that, all right? Okay, so the next steps, love bugs, if you're wondering how to minimize feelings of jealousy in a relationship, a friendship, or with a colleague, there are many ways to find relief and overcome it. Like identify other insecurities you have. Talk with your partner about your feelings. Like, hey, I don't like the way you're still talking to your exes. That makes me feel insecure. Ask others how they experience and cope with jealousy. Let go of judgment. Give yourself grace. Practicing grounding, tapping, and other self-led exercises. Learn about jealousy, its triggers, and how to heal. If your jealous tendencies adversely impact your relationships, career, or life, consider speaking with a therapist. Learning how to manage jealousy in a healthy way may take time and effort, but it is possible, and it's never too late, love bugs. And I know you guys know that because we're healing now as we listen to this podcast, as we do this podcast. We're healing, and we're also letting each other know that, hey, there's a problem. And that's the first step, is to notice that you have a problem and to do something about it. Let's go over some signs of jealousy. When you're jealous of someone, you might be fearful of losing your position or status to them. When you feel jealous of another person, what you might really be feeling is temporal anxiety or unease that the other person may have what could be yours. With a coworker, this could be concern over your position. With a significant other, it could be fear of losing your relationship. Though you may think of jealousy as occurring exclusively in romantic relationships, you can be jealous in many relationships in your life, including those with coworkers, classmates, friends, and family. And so here's what to look for and to work through if you see some of these signs. Signs of jealousy can be tricky to identify, love bugs, particularly if you're the one experiencing them. Signs like you don't celebrate their success, you're hating, like, well, good for you, you got that promotion and I didn't. Those are signs of jealousy. You act passive-aggressively toward them. So passive-aggressive behavior is another anxiety or fear-driven response. It occurs when you don't want to act out. So for example, if your romantic partner's friends are over you're all sulked down like, oh my gosh. But when they leave, you perk back up. That's an example of passive aggressive behavior. You start to avoid them. So if you're actively avoiding someone, it could be a sign that you're jealous of them. You don't want to get together with your friends, or you don't want to interact with that person. Jealous of someone, you may find yourself being very critical of them. This can go along with celebrating their success. And let's just talk about how envy is different from jealousy, guys. The terms envy and jealousy are often used interchangeably. Even some researchers have blended the meaning of the two words. But some researchers explain jealousy as a belief that you may lose a relationship with an important person in your life to a rival who may be real or imagined. They say that jealousy can affect your thoughts, behaviors, and emotions, and it surely can. By comparison, a 2020 study defines envy as status-related painful emotion. When you feel envy, you want what someone else has, whether it's emotion or a loving relationship. So that's the difference, love bugs, of those two different things. So what does jealousy look like in your daily life? Well, while your responses to your own feelings of jealousy can vary, how jealousy can look in real life situations. So with your family, as an adult, you might find yourself avoiding your siblings and get-togethers because you know they're going to praise your siblings more than you. You want to consider setting aside dedicated time to spend with your family. Pay attention. There's not competition, they're your family. And in your romantic relationship, jealousy with a romantic partner can be a problematic situation. You may find that you can't trust them, or you might become possessive of them in an attempt to lose them to others. If you do find yourself getting emotional about ruminating on or acting on the idea of hypothetically losing your romantic partner to someone else, try taking these steps, guys. Have an open mind and be honest, and have a conversation with your partner. Avoid accusations or confrontations about their actions. You need to identify your triggers of your jealousy and think about whether you have any actual evidence that your partner has done anything wrong or cheated on you. Can't just point fingers, you gotta have evidence. Let go of past arguments or wrongdoings and live each day as though it's a fresh start. Try to stop your imagination from getting away from you. Get involved in things that you like to do, love bugs, like groups, activities, and that promote relaxation. Alright? So let's just recap on what we learned today. Okay, jealousy happens when you fear you're going to lose your status with another person. It is similar to, but not the same as envy, which occurs when you want what another person has. You can be jealous of many types of people in your life, including friends, co-workers, family, and lovers. Your jealousy can show up as various behaviors, such as withdrawing from situations or bad-mouthing others. If you recognize jealousy in yourself, you can take steps to prevent it from taking over your relationship. Practicing positive self-talk, looking at situations objectively, and trying to identify your triggers can all help. Okay, love bugs, so again, make sure you're being emotionally aware and mature. It takes work, but it can be done. And really say to yourself, is this something that I should be jealous of? Sometimes it just comes out of nowhere. You don't even know you're jealous until your partner gives you reason to believe that they're going somewhere. So people have to talk to other people in the opposite sex, to interact with other people besides you, and it's okay. Once you start feeling secure with yourself and self-loving, you won't have so much jealousy. It's a work in progress, but it can be done. I know because I'm doing it, and it's terrible. Jealousy is not cute. It's overbearing, and it can get nasty. So make sure you're checking yourself. Love bug, make sure you're making all the decisions this week with your heart as much as you can. I'll see you next week, and until next time, I'm out.